The sun's going down, but you're clocking in. Here's some things that only Night Shift will understand. Welcome to Paranormal Nightshift, your fan stories told here. There's an evil in this world that still scares people to their core. Things that we don't talk about that go bump in the night. There's a reason why The Exorcist is still one of the most scary movies for most people. There's no mask-wearing psychopath lurking in the shadows. No, this is an evil that shows itself in broad daylight. Today we're talking about demonic possessions, and this story rings true. Maybe you shouldn't mess with things that ought not be messed with. To protect those involved, we have changed the names, but this story takes a very dark turn, so viewer discretion is advised. Summer and Hope, that's our names. Think of the parents that we had that felt so inclined to name us that, because that's how bright and lovely our childhood was. We grew up in a very religious household. Everything we did with the church. All of our friends were friends that we made with the church. But in 2008, when the market crashed, our faith was tested. Dad lost his job, and we kind of lost faith with the church. The church was great until we couldn't pay to do the things that we used to do. I understood, but not my sister. She always questioned her faith after that. She always had a resentment for the church after that. And she started hanging around with new friends. A couple years before that, Mom and Dad would have never let us do this, but they were both busy trying to find work and just keep us afloat. So, we were left to our own devices, and we decided to throw a party one night. We've all heard of the game. Maybe you've even played it. You stand in the bathroom in front of the mirror, you turn the lights off, say her name 3 times, and then maybe, depending on what story you hear, she appears in the mirror or directly behind you. We thought it was a game. We were so foolish. We did it a couple times that night, but every time we did it, my sister got more involved. She wanted to see something. She began to taunt and challenge whatever she was trying to channel. She was making it angry, and she was becoming more and more angry that whatever she was trying to find wouldn't show itself. But then it did. Whatever she was talking to made itself very, very well known, and attached itself to my sister. She was never the same after that. This once calm, tame, mild-mannered little girl became vicious, hateful, spiteful, and even violent. Began to swear and cuss and spit. She would fight at school, if that's what you want to call them. Fights imply that 2 people actually had a chance. No one ever stood a chance against her. Because of the extreme nature of her acts, she was expelled from school. My parents tried everything, but eventually sent her to a military boarding school. Do you understand how bad your behavior has to be for a school of that level to tell you to go home? That there's nothing that we can do for you? I'll never forgive my parents for what they did next. They had asked for everyone's help, except for the church. They basically disowned her when she came back. Feeling betrayed, she slipped into a lifestyle that most people do in this situation. A lifestyle of substance abuse and alcoholism. She felt like she had nowhere else to go. She cut herself off from all of us. I spent so much time and so much money trying to help her, but she didn't want to get help. After years of not communicating, other than the occasional text message, I got a phone call. She was found by a maintenance man in the hotel room, face down. The hotel had called me to collect her personal belongings. I went into the room and it just felt so dark. The energy was so dark and depressing. I didn't like being in there. It felt like something was pushing down on me the whole time. I gathered whatever I could, but of course, before we left, I needed to use the bathroom. As I entered the bathroom there, standing in the mirror, the same thing I saw all those years ago, and it was smiling.